Hey, boys and girls. Today we're going to work on Module 16, Lesson 2, which is multiplying decimals. One of the big things I want to start out with is talking about estimating, right? So we're going to be dealing with two numbers that are both decimals. Sometimes all the time, I should say, it's really valuable for us to use estimating to make sure that we have a reasonable estimate. Okay, so I have a little chart here that Nikki went to the grocery store, and there's a certain amount of weight that Nikki was buying, and then the cost per that pound. So, for example, we've got 1.2 pounds or 1 2/10 pounds of almonds, and each pound is $5.89. So, in order to find the total cost, we would have to do 5 and 89 hundredths times 1 2/100. Now, I like to do estimating first. So, okay, for 5 and 89 hundredths, if I'm rounding to the nearest whole, would be 6. And then 1 2/10 would be round to 1. So 6 times 1. So my answer should be around 6. Now, it doesn't have to be exactly 6. It just has to be close to it. Okay, so that's the first step I like to do is give me an estimate so I have an idea. Now, when I'm multiplying this problem, I'm going to multiply it just like I would do any other multiplication problem. I'm going to forget about the decimals, right? So I'm just going to do 9 times 2 is 18. Carry my 1. 2 times 8 is 16 plus 1 is 17. My 7, carry my 1. 2 times 5 is 10 plus 1 is 11. Okay, so I've added these in so I can get rid of those. I put down my 0 placeholder because I'm not multiplying by tenths. Now I'm moving over to the ones place. And then 1 times 9 is 9, 1 times 8 is 8, and 1 times 5 is 5. So when I add it up, I get an 8, I get 16, I get 10, and I get 7. Okay, now I know my answer is not 7,068 because my estimate was 6. I've got to figure out where I'm going to put my decimal. So I look and I see, okay, I've got 3 numbers that are behind the decimal in the problem. So I need to have 3 decimals behind my answer in the problem. So I get 7 and 68 hundredths, which is reasonable because my estimate was 6. And 6 and 7 are super close to one another. All right, so again, really helpful to estimate. So I know for the second one, I would say 2 6/10 rounds to 3, $4.42 rounds to 4. So my answer when I solve it should be about 12. If you solve the problem and your answer is nowhere near 12 and you're looking in the hundreds, you want to look at both your estimate to make sure that you estimated and rounded correctly, and you also want to look at your work to make sure that you did all the steps. One of the common mistakes that I'm seeing is a lot of us are forgetting to put that 0 placeholder in because we're now multiplying by the next place value column. So make sure that you do that, and then we just add here. But sometimes it could be just a silly multiplication mistake or a silly addition mistake. So let's make sure that we sharpen up on those skills, okay? But that's it for lesson 16-2, standard algorithm and estimating. I think as long as you practice those in the past, today should be a pretty simple lesson for us, all right? Best of luck, guys. Take care.